everyone, it's Hayes. In today's video we are going to be doing the commentary / analysis of episode 18, I think, of Miraculous Ladybug season 6, the Dirtifiers. I have seen Queen of the Dread Zone, but I'll talk through at the end of the video. The schedule, if you want to talk about Queen of the Dread Zone, I've seen it, please don't worry about me seeing spoilers, but I'm going to do that video tomorrow. I've seen it, not going to discuss it. Honestly, if you want briefly what I think, I'm a little bit conflict about it, so I'm happy I get another day to think about it. I'm not going to film it till tomorrow because I don't have time because I'm going to my youngest brother's engagement party this afternoon. So anyway, I hope you all like my shirt. I no longer have any red clothing left, but we got this at work last year when Brimstone by Kelly Hart came out. I haven't read it, but it says Shadow Daddy on it, so I was like, can I have that? No one else wanted it for obvious reasons, but I do, also for obvious reasons. It's okay, I went to Tesco wearing it this morning, no one cared because I was wearing shorts, so instead everyone was looking at my pasty pale white legs in this lovely weather we're currently having in the UK. But anyway, quick thoughts. Loved it, 10 out of 10, I thought it was absolutely fabulous. I was a little bit apprehensive when we got the trailer because I was like, okay, something's going on with Kagami, but Ella and Netta are getting akumatized. Has Kagami even spoken to Ella and Netta ever before they had any interaction? I felt certain it was going to be unrelated, and I guess in a way it is unrelated. Kagami's issues, she doesn't have issues with the twins or the twins with Kagami, but it is related. It's to do with family stuff, particularly mothers. So I think it worked really well, but I was a little bit apprehensive going in, but I thought it was great. So we had the Kagami stuff that was very serious, whereas with the twins it was a lot more sweet and a little bit funny. And I also loved it because I had like Party Crasher vibes, but for the girls this time. There honestly was a lot going on in the episode. She had Marinette's parents, Alia's family, Kagami's mum, what was going on with the twins. There was a lot going on, but I didn't feel like it was rushed. I really enjoyed myself, and I think they dealt with some really serious feelings for Kagami around child abuse, emotional neglect and emotional abuse. I thought they dealt with it really, really well. Which is odd considering Thomas doesn't actually know what it is since he blocked me for defining it for him. Anyway, so let's get into it. The opening, first of all. You know, since like last season I've just been like, no to Senti Monster deniers, but if anyone after this episode wants to deny it, after that opening, like, I don't know how much more evidence you need at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't get it. But anyway, I love the scene. I thought it was actually quite lovely. Obviously I know what Tomoe has become and why she basically raised Kagami is basically like to be trained into like a trophy or a weapon, not as a human being. But I did really enjoy the scene where she made Kagami, and then when Kagami was born, and of course I love the outfit. Oh my gosh, I want to do a full proper analysis of it. But I am also now dying to see Emily's peacock outfit, and also Colt's, because I really do hope he had a cowboy hat. That would have been the absolute best thing ever. Like, I hate him, don't get me wrong, but I also need to see his outfit. So we get into the sleepover, and again the whole theme of this episode was family and parents, which I thought they did so well with, first of all, Marinette's family joining the sleepover. Love their pyjamas, love Tom's pyjamas, basically just a massive onesie. They were great. And then Alia, honestly I'm quite excited for the pregnancy. I know she's not real, but I'm still excited. Although I absolutely wasn't surprised it's going to be a baby girl because it's a family of girls. And honestly I'm happy Otis loves having all these girls in his life, because there are some dads who don't like having girls, so I'm so happy he's thrilled about it. And then we move to Kagami at home, and one thing I'm gonna say I really liked it. I really liked it in terms of storytelling, but in terms of like an actual parent-child relationship, no. So I'm pretty sure in Japan when you get home you say Tadaima, which I think it just means literally I'm home, like you call it as you come into the house or whatever. It's just something people do in Japan. Did they do it in the Tokyo special? I don't remember. And obviously that's the password to get into the house, or apartment, penthouse, whatever you want to call it. The family living quarters of the, I would assume, office building. And she says it to a robot, not to, you know, usually if you were a school child coming home from school you'd say I'm home to your parents, your caregiver, you know, face to face. And they'd, you know, be like, oh, how was school, how was whatever, wherever you've been or whatever, you know. And she's saying it to a robot, so I really liked how it immediately set the tone for when Kagami got there, and it was a direct comparison to the warmth of Marinette's home as well as Alia's home, because we see the twins with the mum. Honestly, I just think the setup was better. There was another episode where it just didn't work in the Dark Castle. So we had the stuff going on with the time travel and Alex's birthday. Then we also had the stuff going on with Mr. D'Argencourt, who was having beef with Alex's dad. And it would have been so easy to link those two together, because it was already technically linked, because the argument is with Alex's dad. You know, the dad of the person who's having his birthday party for his daughter who he doesn't get to see because she has the rabbit Miraculous. So they're already linked, but the problem with that episode is they just felt like two separate things going on that had really nothing to do with each other. So because it already had more of the setup with twins and showing how it was linked, it just worked so much better. So I love the Kagami stuff. I just felt, oh, she really felt her upset when she was talking about allowance of like socialising. At first I thought she meant, I said this in my reaction, she meant like kind of her like own mental allowance. I'm autistic, I have anxiety. I'm not super talkative even when I am with my friends or when I am in public. So I do work in a bookshop. I talk to my colleagues, I talk to members of the public every single day. I work in the bookshop, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love and adore my job. But I do have like a, I guess I don't know what number it is exactly, but by the time I come home I am exhausted, both physically, because I'm on my feet all day, right? But also mentally, because I'm talking to customers all the time. I'm always fine in the morning. I was at work all weekend. I'm filming this Monday. I'm fine now. But I know I do have obviously some sort of invisible number in my brain that is like, yeah, no, you've had enough for the day. By the end of the day, by like the last hour of the shift, I'm like, please nobody talk to me. I don't want to have any more social interaction, no thank you. So at first I thought she meant that, but then it's like, no, actually my mum's like, I'm only allowed to see so many of my friends or whatever on the weekend to do more important things. So I'm really glad when the robot kept being like, if you don't leave now, you're going to be late for fencing, and Kagami just absolutely lost it and went to confront her mum. I just really loved that scene between them. I was just like, why do they have to fight though? For her to be worthy? No, just tell her! Oh, I understand it's meant to be frustrating to watch, but really enjoyed it, and I love the conversation between the two of them. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Queen of the Dread Zone, but I just have one tiny thing to add, is that Chloe in that episode is also being used, more so by Lila, but it also seems from what Audrey and Noe said. I'm not sure what exact plans they've got for her, but it seems they are also using her. So I think it's an interesting comparison that these episodes were aired together. I don't think RTS consciously did this. I think they were just like, well, let's air the last two together, and these are the two since there's only 4 left, right? I don't think it was done in that way. But I just thought it was interesting that Kagami is similarly emotionally abused and neglected, and it's really highlighted in the show as a terrible thing, but when the same happens to Chloe, it's probably framed as her fault. You know what I mean? Anyway, more about Queen of the Dread Zone another day. So like I said, I had a better setup in this episode with what Ella and Etta were doing and all the pain. Honestly, I thought their drawings were adorable on the wall. I hope they perhaps kept some of them. Obviously clean up the mess in the rest of the apartment, like there was paint on the floor by the time I cleaned it up, that's a health hazard. But the little like drawings of the whole family was so super cute. And I love the scene with the girls in the kitchen where Marinette's like, you know, it's not right, we shouldn't just leave Kagami. And Julica's just like, yeah, we should kidnap her. Pretty sure that was the first thing Julica said in this episode. When did she say it before? I can't remember. She's just doing it more than once. Was it in this season or a different season? I can't remember. Either way, hilarious. Loved it. I also loved how the girls trying to get into the Tsurugi building was also comedic, like, oh, I'll book an appointment. No, you can't book an appointment. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then the girls decide to split up, which first of all, great plan. But second of all, Mark's family owns a bookshop. I told you I'm his mum. I don't own the bookshop, but I work in a bookshop. It's basically the same thing. I am Mark's mother. Okay? It's meant to be. That's all I'm saying. And then Ella and Etta get akumatized. I love how manipulative this scene was. First of all though, when they were saying like, oh, my mum doesn't love us anymore, I was like, no, she does. She does. She's got a lot going on. I've never been pregnant before, but I would assume your hormones are all over the place. Is the first trimester when you get the most morning sickness? Again, I haven't been pregnant before. Apologies if that's not the case. But I know you'd be tired because you know you're growing another life inside of you. You'd be exhausted when you have 2 young children already. I'm not sure how old Ella and Etta are. I would say under the age of 10, I guess. You're already going to be exhausted. So, like, being shouted at or whatever isn't nice, but I understand why Marlena was angry with them. But they were getting upset, and then Lila was just like, well, if you make the whole city dirty, you know, then maybe she'll love you too. It was very manipulative, of course, but I was like, no, I felt so bad for them. I just wanted to give them a cuddle. They were crying. I was like, no, they were so sweet in that scene. And obviously while that's happening, the girls are split up and Ladybug's rung Ryuko and she goes to see it. And I absolutely love the scene. I love the idea of it. Echoes of perfection from season 5. Not a great episode in my opinion, but I love the idea that Kagami likes feeling weightless and nothing when she gets upset, because, you know, her mum makes her feel basically like she is nothing and she gets to disappear. And I really enjoyed the conversation between them and Marin. It's just like, I guess it's kind of ignorant of her to be like, well, you know, not everyone gets to have a loving family, which is true, but you know, you should. Everyone should. I know a lot of people don't experience it, but you should at the very least have that. So then I was in complete agreement with Kagami when she was like, well, that's nice and easy for you to say when your family is lovely and they give you hugs. My heart broke when she was like, I would assume Tomoe's never given Kagami a hug. That was heartbreaking, but love the conversation. If you're looking for me to criticise this episode, I won't, because loved it. 10 out of 10. It was great. Then we moved to the Akuma, which I really enjoyed. It was the comedic relief we needed in this episode since the Kagami stuff was so serious. Well, I do have to ask, how did nobody get dirty? None of the heroes just running around. I'm assuming the bottom of their feet was, but the rest of them was like, how did none of you get hit at any point? And I like how, first of all, it was kind of very much Party Crasher vibes, where they were working together, and then also at the same time with all the puddles. I remember someone left a comment on one of my theory videos saying how it kind of looked a bit like a video game Splatoon, and honestly this Akuma did come across more of a game, again to help with the comedic relief, but I just think it worked really effectively for the twins and Rena Rouge, like with the anti-Kumas, which was so cool to see everyone basically go greyed out. Rena Rouge, when she got hit, she was like, yeah, I'm out. And then she was like, oh, I'll play a game with them with the Mirage. That was cool. The Lady Noirs little bits we got, and the umbrella. Oh my god, the umbrella stuff. I need a new Adrianette umbrella scene in the new animation, because there's an edit I want to make desperately into a short, and I can't do it until we get an Adrianette umbrella scene in the new animation. And then Ryuko comes down, she cleans everything, but it's like, no, it's not enough because the twins are too quick and they're disappearing into puddles. We need you to basically keep it clean permanently with the storm. She's like, I'm not sure if I can do it, but then all the girls in Cat Noir are encouraging her to do it. She was amazing. She was so powerful. It was so good. Amazing. Then after the Akuma, Kagami goes back home and Tomoe is like, I knew you could do it. That was because of me. And Kagami is like, no, it's not. She was amazing. She obviously still loves her mother, but she's like coming to terms with the fact, like, my mum doesn't really see me as her daughter, as a proper human being. I'm just a tool for her. So whilst that's very upsetting, I'm not going to pretend it's not. I'm glad that Kagami is breaking away from that. Then she gets the metal swords out, gone from wood to metal, which I appreciate Tomoe acknowledging how far Kagami's come, but I'm like, right, what if Kagami impales you? You know what I mean? What if that happens? But I love Kagami's line where it was like, soft heart underneath scales. Excellent. And then we get to the ending. Right, first of all, Lila learning how to fight. Cool, loved it. However, Ladybug, while she's really cool as Ladybug, Marinette doesn't really have any fighting skills. She wasn't bad at fencing, but you know what I mean? She's not going to be on Kagami's level, which I'm assuming Lila's at a similar level. So what I'm saying is she's going to be screwed. However, the sister stuff, I don't know. Did Tomoe have a child with another man first, which was Lila, but the man did something that we saw hints of? That was it in Yakuza, I think, in the flashback with Gabriel when he's like, oh, he's moved to Paris. So maybe she had a child with someone else and she was like, no, not good enough, abandoned the child, which was Lila. Had Kagami on her own. Is she just saying that to wind her up? Has Tomoe adopted Lila? I truly don't know what it means. I don't know. You would have think, you know, having two lines of it where Yakuza goes in, hi mum, and Kagami being like, saying she's her sister in this one, like, you'd think that's enough to confirm it, but I'm just, Lila just baffles me. I can't believe her about anything. I can't do it. Anyway, overall, as you can hear from everything I've said, oh my god, we're only at 15 minutes on the camera timer. 10 out of 10. I thought it was amazing. There was so much going on in this episode, but I think they did a brilliant job. And of course, the MVP was Kagami. She did an amazing job. So, the schedule for the rest of this week. So Monday, today, of me filming this, Dirtifiers commentary. Tomorrow, Queen of the Dread Zone commentary. Wednesday, we are going to do Dirtifiers reaction, and then we're going to do Thursday, Queen of the Dread Zone reaction. And then Friday, I'm hoping we'll have a trailer at around 1 PM, 2 PM for episode 25. And then we're going to do around like 3 PM, 3:30, I haven't decided yet. I need to talk to my moderator to see who's available. Pre-panic party for the finale live stream. So yes. Anyway, that was everything. My camera's about to run out of battery, but Queen of the Dread Zone tomorrow. So I hope all that's okay with you all, and I hope to see you all at the live stream later in the week. But I'd love to know what the rest of you thought of this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!